welcome in. It is a Thursday, February 6th edition of the Horse Racing Happy Hour. His name is Barry. My name is Louie. We'll be with you for the next little bit here. Talking Tampa. You know it's Tampa season when it's the spring and you see Barry's face. That's how it goes. I say spring. Sure as bleep doesn't look like spring outside my window here at the studios of ESPN Louisville, but that's neither here nor there. Want to thank our opening segment sponsor. That is the Louisville Executive Airport. They want to help you with a hassle-free derby this year. Enjoy complimentary shuttles back and forth from the airport to the track or hotel, only 10 minutes from Churchill Downs. They offer the lowest prices in the area, short taxi times, all of the best things for you and your trip to Louisville. Get in and out of airspace just as easy as possible. You're not fighting that UPS traffic over at our major airport here. So look, LouisvilleExecutive.com. Get in with them today. You're invited to an all-day cookout both on Oaks and Derby Day, so you don't even have to worry about food. How about that? Get back on your jet and get out of here. Certainly easier and cheaper to fly in for the Derby, young Barry Spears, than it is to actually get a hotel. How about that?
Ooh, that's lovely.
It is lovely. Must be nice. That's right. No, but hey, check them out. Bowman Field's awesome. That neighborhood's awesome too. So maybe even find a spot if you do end up staying for a night or something like that with our friends at Louisville Executive Airport. Barry, welcome in. We're deep in the 20-point preps on the Derby Trail at this point. We're going to watch some replays, kind of go through those together. I thought some really good performances, different types of performances too from some of these 3-year-olds. We're hoping we'll step forward. Zach, can we start out west by chance? Is there a way to do, I don't know if you have it up first, but Citizen Bowl, if you have it ready to go, I'd like to watch the Citizen Bowl replay because, Barry, so often in our sport, you and I and me and everyone else that watches 2-year-old racing, the question always pops up toward the end of the 2-year-old season. Are they going to be able to do it at 3? Can they do that at 3 years old? Is that something that we can figure out? I thought him coming back right away and looking like this, Barry, was a big, big positive.
Yeah, it always is. I mean, one of the things I do as a handicapper or an analyst is when horses come back off layoffs, in a similar form or with similar speed that they had before the layoff or right before it, it's always a good sign that they're going to move up and run a really good race, probably in the near future, if not right at that point.
So we do go to that replay now. That is the Robert B. Lewis out west at Santa Anita over the weekend. Citizen Bowl, your winner.
Rodriguez is now re-rallying on the outside, so he obviously wasn't comfortable, but he is now as he comes after Citizen Bull at the top of the stretch. Madaket Road is down at the rail. 3/16 of a mile to go. Citizen Bull still in control. Madaket Road trying to get into second, past the furlong pole, and Citizen Bull better than ever coming to the 16th pole. He is back in a big way. Citizen Bull leads them all the way. Another Robert B. Lewis for Bob Baffert.
I really like Barry too, how Rodriguez finished that race. We can get into that in a second. But coming back, that running style, we've seen this from Baffert before with his 3-year-olds. Get out front, stay out front. Boy, if you could do it, it's great. Great Gates of Wire, not a bad way to live, Barry, if you could do it. I thought it looked really good for first time off a layoff, especially. Hey, Barry, can you unmute your mic for me, buddy?
It's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard to analyze those races out west because it's a matter of who, who's Baffert's second string is how good his first string is, because those are the horses that they're kind of running against, and those are the best horses out there. So if you believe that Bob Baffert's second string is really good, then his first string is probably really superior, and it will translate when they come out east. If not, then you might get those situations where, he might ship a horse out east, get bet quite a bit, and be very vulnerable. So it's really, really dicey. But Citizen Bull looked good.
Is he in that first tier for you? Is he the second tier for the Baffert runners at this point?
Oh, yeah, no, he's definitely
he's top tier for sure,
better.
Right? Okay,
yeah, he's definitely.
I can't remember a horse. Man, it's in the points era, at least, Barry, that qualified for the Derby on February 1st. I mean, it's 60 points could get you in this year.
Yeah. It's going to be spread out, I think, a lot like last year.
I'll be interested to watch his pattern too. Do they run him back again in March and make the Derby the 4th race of the year for them, or do they skip March get to the Santa Anita Derby and then running the Derby is kind of like second off life. I simply don't know. My sense is you got to run him in March, right? You got to keep that pattern going, right?
Yeah, I agree. I would. If he's on schedule and he's going to win the Derby, it's a mile and a quarter race. It's going to need foundation. Baffert's the expert at that. He knows that he's got to get a couple more races into this horse before the Derby.
Watching replays going through the 3 Derby preps from this past weekend were presented in the first segment by Louisville Executive. Airport LouisvilleExecutive.com got you set up for Derby this year on Long Island. We saw the Withers this weekend. The winner of that one was Captain Cook. Barry, I go to Equibase to look up all these horses. Captain Cook's one of the most common names of a horse all time in the United States. So it was just one of those that we got to see over and over and over again as a name overall. Do you find yourself able to separate out the fact that it's Fusaichi Pegasus, the last Wood winner, to win the Kentucky Derby as well? We had a Wood participant win in 2003. Does that matter to you that it's been 20 years since someone's come off Long Island win the Derby once we get to the Derby?
Not really. I mean, good horses come from anywhere. I mean, it's just a matter of where they're based. And if the best horse happens to be in New York or going that route, so be it. I don't really take too much stock into those kind of statistics, but it's definitely worth noting that people haven't been using that particular road, but that can change in a heartbeat, as you know.
Yeah, I love what you just said at the end there, which is it's more about trainer choices than it is about Aqueduct or something, right? That kind of thing. And so, yeah, I totally agree with you. Zach, go ahead, pull up that race from Aqueduct this past weekend. Captain Cook, your winner here.
A nice trip so far. Here's the run from Surfside Moon, who's In Pursuit has taken fourth. Trying to pick him up as Global Steve is making hard work of it so far in fifth. Then from the back, Omaha, and the trailer Corvus. They approach a quarter mile left to go. Manny Franco, a look over his right shoulder, and now tells Captain Cook to go because Surfside Moon was ready to pounce on the grandstand side. Captain Cook is showing more, and Captain Cook is now up by a length and a half. Surfside Moon continues to give game chase. Omaha is running on for third. Here is Captain Cook with the 16th left to go. Captain Cook is up by 2. Surfside Moon is second, but Captain Cook wins the Withers. Captain Cook wins it.
As always on this show, we thank Naira's YouTube page for that one. That's a long joke on this show. I have to say, Chris Griffin, has been at Aqueduct long enough that I'm used to that voice. It took me a minute, Barry, because I was so used to Johnny being up there.
Oh yeah, Johnny I.
So good. I thought this about Captain Cook's performance, and I hope it's repeatable because you love it when you see a young developing horse take the cues as well as he did from Manny Franco, right? Manny said, "Hey, we got to go, buddy. There's a horse right but next to us. We got to get going." Shakes up the reins a bit. That horse takes off. Is willing to move out to the 3 path on that far turn to make that move as well, Barry. I thought just a very professional win here.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at the 2 horses that were favored in that race, and Mo Quality and Captain Cook. Mo Quality had a little bit more seasoning, had run some tough races in a stake, and this horse kind of blew the doors off that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mo Quality actually ran his best race or even close to that, but still, he got beat pretty good, and it really upgrades for me, Captain Cook, going forward.
It was interesting too. Surfside Moon. That's a son of Malibu Moon. It's not as though we're dealing with a horse that's, I know 33-1 was the number here, Barry. I thought that run was pretty good, and that horse was still kicking really well late.
Decent. I mean, he's definitely going to have to get a little bit quicker. I think part of that finish was people stopped in front. But, it's encouraging. I mean, anytime you have a horse that's improving, it's encouraging this time of year.
Surfside Moon, a one-time winner that was in a maiden race at Delaware Park before running in the Laurel Futurity in the Awad Stakes at Belmont at the Big A at Aqueduct, and then showing up in this one. Not a bad check, $50,000 for a second place finish there. In the Withers, we move, no kidding, to South Florida for one of the more interesting runs of the day. Burnham Square does win the Grade 3 Holy Bull. Edgar Zayas and Ian Wilkes team up on this one. And Barry, I was talking on Monday, on Blood Horse Monday, with my friend Sean Collins about this race, and I know you're a Florida guy and you love Gulfstream, and a guy like Edgar Zayas, who's just a Gulfstream dude, right? He's there all summer. He's riding away when it's 100 degrees out, when those pop-up storms happen on random Fridays, that kind of stuff. Edgard's there. It's fun to see a guy like that win a race like this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's worked his butt off and got hurt a few times in the past few years. So it's good to see him have success because he's a good rider. He just needs the opportunities, and he's starting to get them.
I think you're right about that. Let's check out the last stretch here of the Holy Bull this past Saturday at Gulfstream Park.
And he strides to a length and a half lead from the outside. Burnham Square tries to bridge the gap, and he starts to gain a bit of ground. Ferocious is flattening out. Off the turn in the stretch drive. Burnham Square under a full head of steam, and he runs by to take the lead with a 16th to go. Tappan Street is fired, but he's second best to Ian Wilkes trainee Burnham Square, who wins the Holy Bull going away under Edgard Zayas.
So this was interesting too, Barry, because there was a moment in this race where he's last. And they have to make up the pace, frankly, just after the first turn. And he gets up along the rail, and he doesn't have to stop. It's not that abrupt, but he does run into traffic. So he had to essentially make 3 different moves during this race. Eventually gets a little bit of space, gets outside in this field. I thought, frankly, of the 3 runs this weekend, this was the best one.
Yeah, it definitely was the best one. My instincts are telling me that this was more of a perfect trip type win than what that horse is actually getting credit for at this point. We'll see. I do enjoy the comment that the trainer gives on this horse saying that he doesn't get tired. You don't really hear that often. You don't hear it from trainers very much.
Yeah.
But it's worth noting, and the horse did finish up like he does want to kind of keep running. So definitely interesting to see. But my instincts are telling me he might have tripped out. But we'll see.
Burnham Square, a good third once in a high-level maiden special weight here across the street at Churchill Downs. Did break his maiden down there at Gulfstream Park. Goes on to win the Holy Bull, the Florida Derby, of course, one of the best predictors for success in the Kentucky Derby in recent years, certainly the last 20. Barry Spears with me this morning. We're presented by the Louisville Executive Airport, LouisvilleExecutive.com. Only 10 minutes from Churchill Downs. If you are planning to charter in this year, get in with our friends at Louisville Executive Airport, LouisvilleExecutive.com. Old Bowman Field here in time. Man, Zach, we do this every week, and I always forget, but they filmed a James Bond film at that airport, and I need to have this in my head. Bowman Field, Kentucky. There it is. All right. What was filmed there? Historic buildings, current operations. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, come on. Goldfinger. There it is. Goldfinger. All right. They take part of Goldfinger here in Louisville at Bowman Field. LouisvilleExecutive.com. You could be like James Bond. How about that? All right. So Barry, we have to get into the handicapping as well. But first, let's do the generic thing here. Do you have a favorite for the Derby or a 3-year-old that caught your eye? I thought, for example, at Gulfstream on Holy Bull Day, River Thames might have had the best race of any 3-year-old that day.
Yeah, I think you might be right. That was the horse I was going to actually mention as well. But sorry, no, that's good. That's good. I mean,
we both say the same thing at least. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. I think that horse kind of stamped himself as an up and coming contender for the Derby. Yeah. One horse I do think should probably get off the trail is Ferocious. I just don't think this horse wants to really go 2 turns and
you think a 7 furlong kind of horse.
Yeah, he's a miler. He looks like a stone cold miler, and I think that might be the best route, but we'll see. I mean, he could kind of get better and mature as the year goes on, and maybe be ready for a race like the Travers. But he just doesn't seem like he's ready for that 2-turn test. And his races show it too. I mean, he kind of shows up and then he fizzles out, and that's usually the telltale sign that they don't want to really go that distance. But he could get it later on.
Yeah, and frankly, the good thing about the 3-year-old season, one of the fun things on our end of it's, Barry, I'm sure frustrating part for trainers, is figuring these things out, seeing which horses want to go distance and want to go 2 turns, whatever it is, but also figuring out who's going to be in like the Pat Day Mile, because a horse like Ferocious might win the Pat Day Mile. That's a great race to win, So I mean, that might be a spot where he ends up on Derby Day anyway, and it just happens to not be in the Kentucky Derby. So who knows? But yeah, that's interesting. It's an interesting take on Ferocious. He's one of those, coming back from 2-year-old success and those kinds of things. And I think you're probably right that he's more of a Malibu 3-year-old than he is a Kentucky Derby 3-year-old, something like that. So there's nothing wrong with that. All right. Oakside, Anything standing out? We'll talk Suncoast in race 2 of our late pick 5 here at Tampa Bay. Anybody stand out on the Oaks Trail to Barry Spears so far?
Actually, no. I think that division is
Interesting.
really,
Okay.
really competitive.
And good, by the way.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting how that shakes out. I think at least early on, or at least right now, that Oaks race is setting up to be better than the Derby.
Oh,
with
sure.
the competitiveness anyway. At
Yeah,
least right
at
now.
the top end of the field. Yes, I get
Sure.
it. Eclaton and Good Cheer and Take Charge Milady. I love the only one I've been touting is Simply Joking. Whit Beckman starts this horse in a maiden, in a stakes for a maiden, and goes ahead, wins that race, comes back, wins last time out. I'm interested to see her once she gets up against better competition.
Yeah, Eclaton ran good in the Ford Gal last weekend, and that horse really doesn't kind of want 7 furlongs, kind of outclassed that field, and you could tell that horse didn't really get the stretch or legs. That probably would be the one that I'm going to keep an eye on, but there's so many that are pretty good in that same kind of category and with that same kind of running style. So it's going to be interesting with Brad Cox too. So he's got his hands full.
Yeah, literally no one takes a horse. He and Baffert best at taking horses from 7 furlongs to 9, no question. So, all right, he's Barry Spears. I'm Louie Rabeau, and a reminder that if you are betting Tampa this weekend, we encourage you to check out our friends at AmWager. So get the AmWager Edge, online betting platform designed by horse players and for horse players. It delivers speed, power, and top-tier features. You get predictive true odds and conditional wagering. So whether you're just placing a win bet or working on a pick six, they give you the tools you need to succeed. So visit amwager.com, amwager.com. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to $150 right now. You need an edge. You need AmWager. Again, a dollar for dollar match up to $150. Barry, we're about to go on the Derby Trail through Tampa here. You and I will be going to a different trail this year. I hope everyone will come to the Wood Memorial with us and check out Ozone Park and all the beautiful planes flying in and out of JFK. To that old TWA, that beautiful architectural marvel that is the TWA air area over there, up there. But come on and say hello to Barry and to me, and you can even meet producer Zach. How about that?
Oh, that's the treat right there. Be alive.
I've been told too that Johnny P is going to be in the house. So these are things, people. So if you want to meet Johnny P, I'm telling you. We're also going to have a giveaway associated with the Wood Memorial, so be tuned in for that. It has something to do with Barry, which is, it should scare all of you. I mean, it's okay to say it really should. It really should scare all of you. But we head to Tampa for the weekend. By the way, we will be posting this, of course, on the Horse Racing Happy Hour platform. I'm interviewing Jason Beam as part of my ESPN Louisville show tomorrow morning, and we will go through with his thoughts. We'll post that as well up at the Happy Hour page. We're going through the late pick 5, so it's time to head down to Tampa. We start with an allowance optional claim. It's 1 1/8 on the turf there for fillies and mares, 4 and up, essentially non-2 lifers here. $54,000 in the kitty here. Couple of questions for you, Barry, but I thought, we're going synthetic to turf with Lucky Combination. And are the morning lines out just yet? They are out right now. Okay. Yeah. We're going to find out how good my handicapping was and if I could be a morning line maker. My first question was about Lucky Combination. She's 8-5. Obviously, they're not worried about the move from synthetic to turf, Barry.
No, they really shouldn't be. I mean, at least from a morning line perspective, this horse probably should be favored. But I don't know. This race seems a lot more competitive than that. I just think the numbers on the page or the buyers actually look a lot better than they really are. And there's some ways to go in here. I think Retired Kathy has some good races to go to.
And she's a horse for course too.
Yeah, likes it there. No, never, a long shot that may have some upside in a race like this. And Runaway Diva. I couldn't discount that horse, especially coming back off the layoff. So it's not just a matter of the Christophe Clement horse to the hoop. Usually at Tampa Bay, you get these kind of races that are super duper competitive like this one, have a big favorite that doesn't pop, and then you get all kinds of chaos. And I think this is sort of that race.
It's interesting. You talk about a long shot. Siempre Elegante is the outside horse here for Chad Brown, coming off a massive layoff, July of 23, almost 2 years coming up for that horse off the track. it is a good angle for a Chad Brown. Do you think he has her in here just to get her legs under her, or is this a spot where he's trying to win, you think?
It's tough with that post. I'm sure they're the intentions to win, but I'm sure he's going to tell Dylan Davis to do the best you can with what you got, because I don't really think that this pace is going to be super, super fast or anything like that. So it's going to be tough. They could work out a trip. I mean, if that horse is good enough, if she's good enough, she'll win. But I would bet against that at 7-2. That's a tough pill to swallow getting out there 2 years.
All right.
2 year layoff.
We move on to the Suncoast. The Suncoast, of course, a 20-point prep for the Kentucky Derby. We like to play games around here when choosing the winners of big stakes races, so we will do it for both of the races here. Barry, we were going to play Sunny and Rainy. If a horse can win the Suncoast, we're going to call him Sunny, and if they cannot, we're going to call him Rainy, or at least if they're a play against. For this field, I did not know the odds going in, and so we will go through them just in order. The Suncoast is race 9. Starts a late pick 4. It's a mile 40 at Tampa, $150,000 in the kitty here, and of course 20 points toward qualifying for the Kentucky Oats. Della Ren for Owen Hardy and Jesus Castanon comes out of a win last out on the grass at Tampa, but before that did break her maiden on the synthetic. Okay, what do we make of this one? Is this Rainy or are we sunny today with this one?
It's Rainy. I just can't see this one switching over and doing better, but stranger things have happened. But I
agree, especially 3-year-old races. I just wonder if she's fast enough, frankly, to win this race. I think that slower setup you get on a turf race, they're not going to get in a mile 40 type of setup. So I'll agree with Barry here. I'm Rainy on the 1. Della Ren in the spot. Dancing Magic does come in. Junior Alvarado gets the lead. All he's done is win half his races at Tampa this year. He's 4 for 8. She comes out of a win in the Gasparilla, which is the prep for this race under Junior, going the 7 furlongs there and winning easily. None of those horses, I don't think many of those horses have come back in this spot. 8-1 on the horse that won the prep, Barry. What do we say?
I'm going to say Sunny. I like that horse quite a bit. I was actually kind of surprised that horse is 8-1 on the line. I think this horse is going to attract some attention, especially with that nice win locally last time and then stretching out. This horse should like the mile and 40 trip. So I say Sunny.
I agree with you. I'll leave the Sunny up there. Smaller barn, the Campbell barn there, but he is 2 for 10 in his tries at stakes. One of them, of course, being the Gasparilla, but had one before that as well. So, I don't think this is a guy trying to, he's way out over his skis or anything like that. I do think as well, if there happens to be early pace in this race, Barry, that she could pick up the pieces later on too, as well. I think that's something where she can be most effective in this field. The 3-horse is Italian Soiree out of the Terra Nova barn. Flavien Prat into ride this day. He's only 4 for 5 his last 5 mounts at Tampa. He gets this one in here, Barry. Obviously, she's coming off of the grass as well in the Jessamine and in the Natalma, a grade 1 up at Woodbine over a mile. But she did break her maiden over the Aqueduct course over the dirt before running second in the what race was that? The Adirondack. That's right, in Saratoga. Is she Sunny or is she a Rainy here, Barry Spears?
It's quite possible she could have grown up and could be more of an imposing figure in a race like this, but that's the crapshoot. And at 7-2 on the morning line, I'm gonna have to say Rainy, because the chances of her, kind of making that leap. This isn't a move like John Terranova actually does a whole lot. So I think they're just trying to see if they can get this horse on the Oaks Trail, but I'm going to side against.
Boy, oh boy, I don't like this at all, but you and I are agreeing a lot. I think this is one coming off the layoff here. I think this is a get some time under her and get some, get the dirt under her feet, see where she's at. I agree with you. It's also an attempt to see, hey, do we have an Oaks horse here or not? If they don't, lots of spots they can aim for at Keeneland and different places coming up here in the spring, frankly, at Tampa, that she could run in. And so they can figure that out through this race as well. I agree with you. Layoff since October. I'll in the dumbest way. It's not a graded stake, so I'm going to try to beat Flavien Prat here. That's what we're going to do here. We'll be
there. You go.
Number 4 is Her Laugh. Irad Ortiz rides for Whit Beckman Jr. I was just singing his praises about other trainees on the Oaks Trail. Boy, a real treasure trove of riches for him this year. The Grantley Acres people. This horse ran in a maiden special at Churchill over 6 furlongs before winning in the mile 70 2 turns there at Fairgrounds. Comes down to Tampa for this one. Sunny or rainy on her?
I'm going to say rainy. I know this horse showed a little bit of versatility last time, but that was an extremely slow pace, and I don't foresee that kind of scenario coming up again. I really like to bet against horses like this because they're going to attract a lot of attention, and I don't think there's a lot of upside there. Granted, this is a nice horse. I just don't know really how much of an upside there is.
Yeah. I'm definitely going Sunny here. I think Whit Beckman's right on the precipice of some very, very big things in his career. This could be part of it here. What I like about her is her running style, Barry, is not going to allow Irad to just wait and then make a furious dash at the end to try to win a race. She's going to want to be closer to the front. It's going to force him to ride the way that I think he's actually the best, which is in a pressing style. I think she'll be near the front, and she'll be able to handle the 2 turns again and add a 3rd win in 3 tries to her career. Junta is the 5 here out of the Granite's Barn. Good to see Tony with some more runners down there at Tampa as well. Comes out of a maiden special win here. We've seen stranger things than this, Barry.
Oh, absolutely. It's another one. If you think that this horse can take the leap, why not? I mean, this isn't a field of world beaters in here. There's really, I see only one horse that kind of stands out, and I'm sure we're going to get to that one soon. But other than that, why not? I mean, Junta is a horse probably with a little bit of upside. So I'm going to say Sunny on Junta at probably a price here, 12-1. So, yeah.
I think the 12-1 price makes it Sunny. I agree with you. I don't think she wins here. The stretch out numbers for Tony Granite's are not great, but that doesn't mean down the line that she can't win these races, right? Get those 2 turns under her, this race, and then come back, try it out again. I'll go Sunny though on the price, and especially, for an exacta trifecta play, something like that. The 6 is Lacara. She's 2-1 here. Dylan Davis in town to ride this one. Mark Cassidy trains. Of course, we last saw her win the Pocahontas before finishing up the track in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, which, by the way, Secretariat would have lost to Immersive because she was that good that day. What do you say? What do you say, Barry, about Lacara's chances here? We are talking about a layoff again.
Very Sunny. I like this horse a lot in this spot. I know it's chalk. I'm not really enthusiastic about that, but just as from a class perspective, this horse stands out to me. Those races at Churchill have been proven to be better all season long. You see Eclaton in there, Kimchi Cat, Vodka with a Twist. All those horses would be below 2-1 in this spot. So this horse is just, to me, stands out class-wise and probably will get the job done.
All right. Barry and I both Sunny on Lacara. Mixed bag for Mark Cassidy coming off a layoff like this, but this one made sense to me. You run that 2-year-old campaign, you give someone, you give your filly some time off at the farm, that kind of stuff. So I'm not at all questioning any of that. I do wonder if she isn't to play against just for one race here. And then, just to get value, Barry, if someone told me they were leaving her out to try to maximize their ticket, I wouldn't get mad at them, but I'm with you. If we're going just purely talent and speed and whatever else, she's right there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that notion because I do that a lot, but this might be a situation where,
as a person who does that quite often, yes, right?
Yeah, this might be a situation where, this horse, this is my saying, this horse could moonwalk and still win this race.
Okay.
So it's like, it's tough to get around the car, I think.
So do you, she's single here, late pick 5?
For me, probably, yeah.
All right. Queen of the Deck is the 7 horse here. Marina Munoz on this one comes out of a maiden special win over the same course here. Had been running at Gulfstream and Churchill before that. A good run at Gulfstream before winning by at less than 3-1 in her last race. 30-1 here, Barry. You give her much of a chance?
No, but I do love their silks. I think they're the best one. The Batmans.
The LCMs.
Yeah. But other than that, no. We're rainy. It's really
I too am rainy. How about that?
Stormy.
Okay, yeah, we'll move on. Chloe's on the outside here. This one is the one that no one's going to know what to do here, Barry. Huge buyer on debut, runs with Lasix. It's on the Tapeta. Sammy Camacho rides. He wins a ton at Tampa. Obviously, Victor Barbosa Jr. and all that. Is there a shot here? Is this one where this horse just jumps off, happens to be faster than everybody else, and runs away with it?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely a plausible scenario here. Again, these aren't like really, really, outstanding horses here. They're trying to find their way, and you can get horses like Chloe that'll just run a hole in the wind, especially at Tampa, where that kind of move wins a lot in these kind of races where you get these young horses going 2 turns, and it's just like it can be chaos at times. But between Lacara and Chloe, I think they got it covered. But yes,
interesting.
Sunny.
Love. Okay, there you go. All right, so very sunny for Barry Spears. I'm not even going to react to that. I love what you just said. We're going to move on to the next race. How about that? It is Tampa race 10. So make sure you are tuned in on your past performances. Made special weight here, 53K in the kitty. We are going a mile and a 16th on the turf shoot there at Tampa as well. I have notes written down. Now I need to see. There are 2 interesting third timers I wrote down. Mona L, who's 8-1. Oh, Barry. Oh no. Oh no. I love that a lot.
Really?
Oh, Barry, I love that a lot. Obviously, I also had lying by omission in my notes here. Irad gets the mount there. Between the and then, of course, the first timer for Chad Brown and Flavia Pratt, portfolio duration. I mean, a lot of ways to go here, frankly.
Yeah, this is a tough race. I thought the 8 Calla was kind of interesting. Or Kala. I don't know.
Yeah, Call. I have second timer.
Right.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about that because that horse is coming out of a maiden.
Crazy.
Maiden 32 at Tampa. Is that the highest level of maiden?
I think there's a 40.
Okay. All right.
But that race in particular was really interesting. If you watch that replay, the horse did get out a step slow and kind of lunged, was dead last, swung wide and came flying behind the front running leader, like a loose leader and dynamic actress. Just got loose, and this horse just flew by everybody else and finished a really, really good second. You got to think, even just looking at that race, that this horse is going to improve. How much? I don't know, but I'm willing to take a shot at 20-1.
Love that. Portfolio duration in here, a Chad Brown Tampa firster. Obviously not available at Aqueduct right now is the grass. And so, I mean, do we hold that against horses, or is this a horse that can win here?
Definitely can win. I don't really, I can't bet Chad Brown first time starters with a lot of confidence unless it's a race that's really, really set up for them to win. And they get a lot of those. This one isn't it. I think this race is a lot tougher than it looks like. You're just not getting the big time connections. And I think that's going to affect the betting quite a bit here. Obviously, portfolio duration is going to be the favorite, but I can definitely foresee that horse running a good second or third here as the chalk. So I would cash in or try to beat this horse now rather than later.
Yeah, I agree with you. Call it here, man. That 20-1 that's something.
Yeah, watch that replay. I'm telling you.
Yeah, especially if a horse is running late, especially on the turf. My gosh, if a horse is running late, on the turf,
he's flying.
That gets me going. Yeah, for sure. So there you go. That was race 10 here at Tampa Bay, hanging out with Barry Spears on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. It's a Thursday, February 6th edition here. We now move to the race of the day. It is the Sam F. Davis, or as Jason Beavis started to call it, the Sam. I have a thing out in APB to all the folks in Tampa. Just give me a hat that says the Sam. I will wear it wherever you want me to.
Well, can we get one that says the Wood?
You're gonna get one that says
a lot of reasons.
What are those reasons, Barry?
Yeah, the Wood Memorial, right?
Oh, right, yeah, racing.
The only reason. Yes.
Horses. Sam F. Davis has run over a mile and a 16th on the turf course there at Tampa Bay. It is 20 points to the winner in the qualifying for the Kentucky Derby, which is run in Louisville, Kentucky, by the way, in case anyone didn't know.
In case you didn't know, Louie, Barry's a furniture maker. That's why the wood is important to him.
Forgot about that. Yeah, that's my hobby. Lots of wood.
I just need Barry to be like at Aqueduct. The rest of us are like betting and he's whittling. Like, you know, just like
You know what?
whittling.
I was gonna
That's
bring
what
my
I need.
whittling my kit with me.
I'll whittle when I want to. You understand me? So we're gonna play our next game, and that is Sam I Am and Sam I'm Not. All right. So if someone is a contender, they are Sam I Am, and if they are not, they are Sam I Am Not. Brian Hernandez Jr. in town to ride this weekend for Ian Wilkes. He's aboard Camp Hale, a son of Motown, a gelded son of Motown. Is a maiden coming in here. You get 20-1, Barry. Sam F. Davis. Sam I Am, Sam I'm Not.
Sam I Am Not ready for the big time yet.
I think that's probably right. The speed figures seem to indicate that this horse is very fast. And as past performances will tell you, this horse has been running in very good company, both at Churchill, Keeneland, and then, of course, obviously, most recently, at Gulfstream Park. Ian Wilkes very clearly thinks this horse can stretch out. So they went from a mile, and they're going to try the 2 turns mile and a 16th here. Treaty of Rome comes in 6-1. Second by a neck to Guns Loaded in that Mucho Macho Man in Gulfstream Park over the mile there. Gets to go a little bit further here. A son of Uncle Mo. We know that distance won't bother him at all. Brown and Davis, man, hard to go against this one.
Yeah, that's definitely a Sam I Am. I mean, was trying to run down Loose Leader Guns Loaded. I even complained on Twitter about how they just let Guns Loaded get an easy lead in that race. And you saw what that horse did in the Holy Bull and finished last. But the alternative story to that was Treaty of Rome ran a really good race to almost run that horse down. That can't be ignored here.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sam. I Am in this case 6-1 is a gift on a horse of this quality. Has that mile distance. It'll be interesting to see him go to the 2 turns. I think it won't bother him in the least, especially given the connections and of course the breeding there. John Hancock comes in the 3-hole here. Flavian Pratt in town to ride for Brad Cox aboard this one. Broke his maiden last time, going 6 furlongs at Tampa. Sam I Am Not. I don't recall too many high-level Brad Cox debuters at Tampa, but this one looked great on debut.
Yeah, it does. I question this horse being in this race and kind of being at Tampa. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to say Sam I Am Not for that reason. I know this horse ran pretty good first time out, stretching out first time. This horse is going to attract attention in a race that probably this horse doesn't even deserve to have that kind of attention. There's other speeds in here like Camp Hale. So yeah, Sam I Am Not, my friend.
There you go. Sam I Am Not for him. Sam I Am for me. Just connections and all of the things and the Constitution and the stretch out and all of the other things. I'm going to go ahead and include this horse whose grandfather on the dam side is called Freud. How about that? Little quick drop of knowledge on the show. How about that? Dr. Ruben M is the 4 horse here. Last ran in the Springboard Mile, which has turned out to be a damn fine race on the trail to the Kentucky Derby. Cole Battle, Speed King finished up top there. Those 2 have come back and done just fine since then. This horse did finish 4th, up the track a bit for Doug O'Neill, but he does get Junior Alvarado. Do we like the 12-1 number at least, Barry?
This is the horse that's kind of on the fence for me.
I'm with you, dude. This is a weird one. Right?
I think this horse adds to the pace scenario here. So I'm going to say not. Sam I Am Not. But I think this horse will probably outrun his odds.
Okay. All right. So exacta trifecta include for sure for you.
Yeah, most likely underneath in a lot of.
Okay,
things.
that makes sense. Yep. Edwin Maldonado had the rides before. Junior Alvarado gets it here. I'm going to play against as well here. I'll let him beat me. That is the wrong one. And so we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and say Sam I Am Not here. But I would not be surprised, especially with the O'Neill connections, to see this horse win somewhere else in some kind of spot where we did not see it coming. But Gatekeeper is the 5 here. Cohen gets the ride here. How about that? I haven't seen him in a bit. Out of the Cunningham barn, 2 runs, no wins. Last out in a restricted maiden optional at Oaklawn. Barry, what do we say about this son of Instagram?
No, thank you. Probably a nice horse, just not at this level.
I'll say this about the Instagrams. I'll bet them when I see a single one of them win over 2 turns. Any of them. Like just any of them. Hey, Barry, any of them. Do you know
Yeah.
that? Like any
I
at all.
mean,
Like, every
Instagram
day.
himself wasn't really that good around
No,
2 turns at
no,
all.
he was
So,
not. Owen Almighty won but didn't win the Pasco last out at 7 furlongs was very clearly the class of that race. The second place finisher is Naughty Rascal, and the 8 hole will get there in a second. But Owen Almighty here, Barry, I think if you were going on class and you just wanted to do that, he's the class here. I think Brian Lynch is very, very high on him. This, the son of Spitestown. Semi not, at least for the betting purposes here.
yeah, he's definitely a contender. I mean, you got to respect him. I do find it interesting that they're putting the blinkers on. I don't think
I
that had
I
don't think blinkers had anything to do
That
with
wasn't the issue.
the incident got into. I really don't understand that, but
Yeah.
Again, I think he adds to the pace scenario here
Mm.
and might get swallowed up, but still formidable. He's proven class.
There you go. I'm going to agree with you. I think it's the same I am here for sure. Proven class is a very good way to put that. I thought his Iroquois might have been his best race to this point, actually finishing behind Jonathan's Way in that one. It was great to see him bounce back the way that he did on debut as a 3-year-old. So yeah, I'll include him as well. I think he's a must use in this race. Poster comes in the 7 hole. I'll go first here, man. Wins that Remsen last December. Barry, that's the race last year that we saw Dornick, we saw Sierra Leone, and we saw a domestic product come out of. And this year it seems to be at this point the Springboard Mile, but I'm not going to throw the Remsen out just yet. And so I'm going to keep this horse in my tickets. He's an interesting one because he won the Remsen coming off of the turf. This is actually a second try on dirt. So the horse has only gotten a small amount of experience on the dirt. So I'm a Sam I Am for Poster here, and I've got Poster on top.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that horse is that mile and eighth effort on the dirt at Aqueduct was real solid, and should hold up here. There,
I agree.
I think there's a few contenders, but if Gallardo can get this horse in the right trip, and I think he can because the field isn't too big, he might be able to overwhelm this field. Now, it's hard to figure how this horse is going to come back off of that layoff. I mean, there's definitely a possibility where he's a little bit short. So you don't want to take too short of a price on a horse like this, but yeah, he's definitely one to zero in on in this race for sure. Sam, I am.
There you go. Sam I Am for both of us. Naughty Rascal finished first by disqualification, but really second in the Pasco last out. I thought ran a really fine race, frankly, considering all of the issues. Ed Gonzalez aboard again for the bet at Barn. I thought ran really well. Sam I Am or Sam I'm not?
I want to like this horse, but I'm really not sure this horse really wants to go far.
Okay.
I think 7 might be the cap on this horse, or maybe a mile. Probably should get a good trip, but I just looking at that race visually, the Pasco, that horse was never going by Owen Almighty. Never.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very, very good way to put it. I'm a Sam I'm not here as well for a lot of the reasons you said. I also just think he's not fast enough. I'll be very clear. So I think that one will start to catch up with him here. Spoken Boy, who is not a bad representative of this show, is the 9 hole here. Paco Lopez comes in to run. This horse has only ever been in muddy conditions running coming into this one. First time in the D'Angelo barn, first time in North America for this one as well. What say you, Barry Spears, about Smokin' Boy? Because I don't know how to even read the past performance.
Very curious about this horse. I'm going to say Sam I Am because this horse's workouts at Palm Meadows have been pretty good, and there's a lot of nice horses that have been around that area, obviously since the beginning of the year and before. And the workouts seem to stack up with the better horses that are out there. So I'm gonna just take a leap and say, yeah, we're gonna think this one's a contender.
This is the kind of race that Paco just randomly wins too. So it's a heck of a thing. Is this his first day back, by the way, racing again?
No, I think
Has he been back a couple days?
Yeah, he was riding yesterday.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think you think he's been away for long enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too, actually. I appreciated him being the one that stepped away, frankly. I'm going to go Sam. I'm not. I think I'd be a little surprised if this horse won, since
I see. I won't be surprised. I think
I love
this
it.
is this.
I
is
love
a
it. I hope
race-
you're right, by the way.
This is a race that's ripe for this kind of weirdness. And mind you, this happens at Tampa Bay Downs a lot, where
King
you get
Guillermo.
these inexplicable results, and sometimes in big races. So
there you go. So that was the Sam. We got one more runner. It's Very Bold. Will be on the outside for Owen Hardy. Jesus Castanon gets the mount here. That horse was third in the Pasco last out, broke his maiden in the slop at Churchill going 7 furlongs. Sam I am, Sam I'm not.
I say Sam I am because there's a situation where this pace heats up and this one comes running.
Comes running late, did much of the late running last out as well, was many lengths off the lead there. I'm going to go not. I think my sense is with this horse that he'll like the distance, but he's going to need a couple tries at it to really enjoy it. Did seem to be okay going the mile at Turfway, but just never quite got into that field. Might be the surface, might be something else, but I'm going to go Sam I'm not. On that, we go to the final race of the day. That is Tampa Saturday. Their race is race 12, the closer, mile and an eighth in the chute there on the turf course. This is for 4 and up. Never won, essentially non-2 lifers. $53,000 in the kitty here. Let's see what my notes say. We put my notes together before the morning lines came out. If you're just joining us here on the Horse Racing Happy Hour, Barry Spears hanging out with me. Noble Factor, second up, I wrote. Looks tough. I get 10-1. What say you, Barry Spears, about 10-1 on that horse?
If you get 10-1, I think I would just push it all in, right?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
I there's nothing wrong with this horse. He's going to get a good trip. He came back off that layoff since May, ran a bang-up race. He was out wide.
Yep.
Had every right to lag behind that field, came running, and then kind of stopped. He has every right to move forward, every indication that he's going to move forward. If you get that price, and I'm with you here, I like this horse. I'm pushing in for that's the bailout horse.
I agree. The other one is Heathguard ran right behind him.
I like Magic Heart. That was the other one. If you're trying to get around the Chad Brown and Saffy horses in this race, Magic Heart and Noble Factor were the two for me.
Wow, good surprise.
Magic Heart kind of did exactly what they said in the form. It ran evenly, didn't really do much, but was a slight improvement. This horse was running with good company at Colonial. It's not far off. I mean, a slight kind of jump up in this kind of race at this particular time, it's not impossible.
Reminder was running in state bred competition down at Gulfstream Park. Is there a step down, a step to the side, any kind of step difference between coming from Gulfstream and running at Tampa on the turf, especially? Hey, Zach, you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did Barry freeze up on us? Is that what just happened? I just want to make sure it's not me.
There we go. He should be back.
Okay, cool. Let's try Barry again. See if he's all caught up. There we go. Hi, buddy. Just froze on us for a second there. Yeah. No, I was just asking with Reminder coming up from Gulfstream Park, running in a lot of state bred races, essentially optional claimers, that kind of stuff. Are the turf races essentially on the same level between Gulfstream Park and Tampa, or is there a step down, frankly, coming to Tampa? All right. Well, I think we have lost. Oh, there's Barry. There we go. See if we can get him through there. Try it now. There we go. What's your answer, Barry? Oh no, we lost him again. All right, so I'm going to remove Barry Spears there from the show. I was also interested in a couple of other horses as well. Factor Analysis is in here. I think that's an interesting one that can be a player. 8-5 on the line here. Did win last time in a maiden special. I don't think the horse is 8-5 at all, but you do see that Brown Gallardo connection. They win near 30% at Tampa as well. That's been it, man. Let's get out of here. Oh, you know what? Maybe Barry's moving around. Barry, you there now, buddy?
Yeah, I'm always here.
All right, okay. No, you froze up on me. Don't tell me you're always here when you freeze up on me. How about that?
How am I?
I want you to tell people on this show, darn it, Barry, how are you breaking up on me? I want people to know what Barry's doing every day because he's putting out content every day, and I want people to be able to go find it and hang out with him and play his pick threes at Mahoning Valley and at different places around the country during the week in Oakland, different things. You're so frozen. Oh, it's unbelievable. So go check him out. He's on with our guy at Of Oaklawn on Twitter. You can go find him, Chase, down there at the Notorious OTB. Very fun show. So go check them out as well. Zach, go ahead, play that music. Get us out of here. This has been the Horse Racing Happy Hour. Thanks to our friends at Amwager. Again, 100% deposit bonus up to 150% complete deposit match. I see Barry moving around on the sword stream, but the second I put him on stage, it's very choppy. Come to the Wood Memorial. Hey, Barry Spears.